Esri's integrations with other systems help you make better decisions and get more out of your investment. A big part of the decision-making process is schedules, due dates, and timelines. For your projects, it's possible to know when every asset is going to be installed or supposed to be installed, but the time and location are two pieces of information that are usually separated. There are whole teams devoted to creating and managing project schedules, so why not integrate that schedule with your GIS data to have a better way to communicate project schedules and deadlines? In this video, we will explore how ArcGIS supports AEC project teams and even stakeholders to ensure better outcomes by connecting GIS and project scheduling software like Oracle Primavera P6. Specifically, we'll explore an approach to connect project data with web-based GIS maps and apps in a way that better communicates that critical project schedule at scale to a wider audience. There are some powerful project management tools out there that offer easy solutions for planning, managing, and executing projects. It's important for keeping up with detailed project schedules, but that's not the only system you need. Your infrastructure or transportation project has another set of designs and data coming from design and engineering software as well, like Autodesk. And the complexity only seems to rise when you think about incorporating the GIS that you've already invested in. Now, my colleagues have shown us how to leverage your CAD and BIM data by taking advantage of new built-in integrations. But let's investigate integrating project schedules. Many companies are already using project scheduling software regularly on their projects, but they like to visualize project progress in an easier way. Here's a screenshot of a Primavera P6 schedule. It's useful, but complex. Project management data can be very heavy data, lots of charts, dates, and fields. And if you've invested in the ArcGIS platform, then you know that it already has ways to visualize large amounts of data in web maps and dashboards. Now, we've seen several customers looking for a repeatable way to visualize complicated project management scheduling data from applications like Oracle Primavera P6 and distribute those to internal and external teams. Now, a few users are already doing something like this. A current pattern here on the screen isn't complex, but it's time-consuming and cumbersome. Typically, the GIS team requests a project schedule from the scheduler, the project controls team. So the project controls team needs to manually export the schedule into Excel or a CSV. That schedule will be imported by the GIS analyst into ArcGIS as a table. It would then have to be merged with a feature layer and shared. Then that whole process would need to be repeated every day, every week, every couple of weeks. However often you need to see the new schedule. So yes, it's possible, but this method has limitations as well in terms of data regarding the fields that are available when you export from P6. It's not done very frequently because it's not easy to do. For our solution, we didn't aim to tackle the whole data model and bring everything in. We focused on what we thought is important to our users: projects, work breakdown structures, and specific activities in those breakdown structures. So our solution focuses on Oracle Primavera P6 Enterprise used by lots of firms. This integration is represented as a simple geoprocessing tool in ArcGIS Pro. The tool uses the Oracle P6 Web Services API to dig into that P6 data model and give the user the option to retrieve any number of fields from P6 and bring them directly into ArcGIS Pro. We're supporting a large portion of the P6 data model, which is quite complex. Hundreds, thousands of tables and fields. Now we're supporting over 200 standard fields, also those user-defined fields, which is important for a lot of AEC firms. Also activity codes. Now we're supporting standard projects and product baselines because most products will have several baselines. You can link to those as well. Now what we're doing is automatically merging that data with a user-defined feature layer in ArcGIS. So you can visualize, symbolize, and publish to a web mapper scene. It can be 2D or 3D, allowing you to do some construction sequencing over time, even in 3 dimensions. And lastly, since it's a geoprocessing tool, it can be scheduled to run at a specified frequency, perhaps providing daily updates. Now, instead of showing you a tool that combines data sets, I want to really explore how you're going to visualize these results and share them with your project team. Now, the best way to do that in our platform is with ArcGIS Hub. The impetus behind Hub is aspirational. Whether you're a community, an NGO, or a private business, your projects or initiatives often leverage the broader community who need to be informed about a project's progress. Governments often use initiatives to reduce homelessness. Nonprofits use campaigns to help improve citizens' earthquake preparedness. And the work on your infrastructure projects sometimes addresses big challenges that require the cooperation of government leaders, residents, universities, community leaders, and NGOs. Now, smaller projects may not involve all these stakeholders, but you're still bringing folks together. Because often the data you need is in the hands of others. And for your project to be successful, you need those people to be informed and be on board with the project, to participate in the process and contribute not only data but ideas as well, so that everybody's efforts and resources can be aligned. And so ArcGIS Hub allows you to create a website. You can create a hub that pulls from your GIS data, your P6 schedule, and even BIM data, and any other relevant project content to help you create a framework to communicate with all of the project stakeholders. Now, this is included in your license and available to you now. ArcGIS Hub gives you a framework for projects and initiatives to help you organize all of the content and apps related to your project on a site, a website, to communicate either internally or externally. So instead of a disparate collection of maps, applications, and dashboards, you can create a configurable site. You get to design a project hub without needing to program or code. It's as easy to set up as one of our configurable apps. Now, you're not alone in this. You can specify a team of users who can access and update the hub. Organize people to make your initiatives and your projects happen. The hub and the project become more valuable when you bring in more contributors. If it's a public project, then you can add community identities. This is any stakeholder or member of the community can have a login to your hub and be a part of that process and contribute. When someone has an identity, they can follow or subscribe to be notified about project changes or scheduled meetings. Now, your hub doesn't have to be a one-way street. Your project team can provide feedback or sign up to attend events. There's an event system inside Hub that can allow you to schedule stakeholder meetings and bring people together. The interaction you receive on this hub can help you track performance too. You can see how well you are engaging with your team and stakeholders using dashboards. Now, I'm going to show you what an ArcGIS Hub full of maps, dashboards, and metrics would look like if you were able to integrate a project schedule with your GIS data. I'll start in ArcGIS Online, where I've got a lot of my data stored. Now, I've organized that data into groups. Here's a group for all the data related to the scheduling integration that I'm working on. This group has a couple of members and quite a bit of content. Now, instead of sharing all of these various maps and dashboards and pages and pictures and layers, I'd like to organize it. And to do that, I'm going to use ArcGIS Hub. Like we learned earlier, ArcGIS Hub allows you to create an initiative, to create a project. Now, you could start from scratch, or you could browse one of our templates. Esri has made available many different templates for tackling your problems and projects. Recently, we've added some coronavirus solutions to help with your business continuity. We've got emergency response templates, project feedback as well, which we'll find useful later. If you scroll down, we'll see more templates. These exist so that you don't have to be a web designer. You don't have to start something from scratch. You can use our performance management template to provide insight and visibility into the impact of your project. If we look at the encouraged project feedback template, it's waiting here to be filled out by you. You can put in your project summary, your start dates, durations, costs, enter in your own project milestones, share project goals even. Now, this lives within the ArcGIS platform, so you can embed into it your ArcGIS maps, your apps, even videos as well. If we continue down, you can see galleries, pages, even that calendar component. Over on our new project site template, you can see how this can be a hub for your customers. This can be a customer portal where you can convey project status. It can automatically display statistics from your data that's updated every minute. Now, all of these areas that you're looking at are configurable. You get to choose the text, the font, and the images that fill this template, that fill this hub. For our project, we've gathered the data together on this project status and scheduling hub. You already have lots of data stored in ArcGIS. All these various file types have been converted and shared. Right? Maps have been made for different areas and purposes. Mobile apps have been used on site to keep this data up to date. So why not share it? Right? Using ArcGIS Hub, we can combine all of these into an experience for non-GIS users. And to configure this, it's easy. I don't need to know how to program or code. I can simply choose to change the layout. I can insert an application, an image, a category, a map, some summaries, or even a gallery. I'm going to choose to insert an application. I'll drag and drop it right where I'd like it to be. And now I get to choose the application I want embedded in my hub. I'm actually going to choose to embed a dashboard into this hub. Now at this scale, this full page, this hub doesn't look like much. It does give me some good information on the pop-ups. For all my projects, I can see risk levels, cost statuses, resource ratings, financial ratings as well. Now I'm going to put this in my hub. I'll choose select application, go browse to the dashboard, and select it. Now once it gets added in, I can actually change some of the options like the height of this dashboard so that it fits perfectly inside this ArcGIS Hub experience that I'm designing. If your users would like to, they can drill down and get more data. You can expand your hub by having a separate page for a project like we see here. You can browse data sets even and embed some more complicated dashboards. ArcGIS dashboards allows you to use gauges, charts, maps, and other visual elements to reflect the status and the performance of your project in real time. Non-GIS users can easily interact with the map and click on projects and find out the current status of it, or look at who to contact with questions or the various changing strategic and technology ratings of your projects. Instead of viewing the whole portfolio, you can also take advantage of project filters that are powered by the integrated data from P6. Instead of just looking at their location, we can find all of the capital construction projects that are in the planned project status right now. And you can see as I'm changing these filters, I'm getting updated risk levels and project budgets. These kind of filters, along with our budget and date filters, can help you make decisions easier without having to comb through tables and tables of data. There's a lot of interesting ways to view numeric and temporal data within operations dashboards to help you get more information out of your data. Now, if we were to drill down into an individual project, then we can really start exploring the P6 schedules that got tied to individual assets here. These dashboards are pulling in information from spatial and non-spatial data that's in your map. Right? That non-spatial data would be the P6 schedule. Right? And that can be visualized in ways that you couldn't previously. I can use a gauge to express how many activities have been completed. And it's completely customizable. I can choose the color, I can choose the value, I can choose which date to display, and what I want that gauge to look like. Once we expand on that further with ArcGIS dashboards, I can view all the structures being assembled on the left. I can click on a structure and view where it is in the map and its entire P6 schedule. From here, I can compare planned start dates to actual start dates. I can even use the features of ArcGIS dashboards to easily add up how many activities started later than they anticipated. Here, I'm going to configure this widget to only show me the number of activities that are starting this week. So I'm pulling from my P6 schedule and apply a filter to only show me the activities where planned finish date is this week. There you go, 3 activities. I'll hit done. I can see easily at a glance how many activities are going on this week and even explore what those are. Here in ArcGIS Pro, the integration is represented by a simple geoprocessing tool. Within the tool, you're connecting to P6 Enterprise, so you'll need to enter your username and password. And then you can select the 3 subject areas: project, WBS, and activities. If you select activity, then you can browse through your project and select a P6 project to relate to it. Now I'll choose my project and then browse through all of my standard fields for activities. Now, we're allowing you to choose the fields that are important to you, important to your projects, which also includes user-defined fields down here. Right? We can choose which ones we want and bring those in as well. So then what you do is select your link field here. Right? It's going to be probably a GIS ID or a unique identifier. You'll also choose the GIS layer, right, that you're merging it with, and the related field there. You can schedule it to run every month, every week, every day, or just go ahead and run it. It should take about 30 seconds or so. And then when it's done, you're going to have a merge view of that P6 data and your feature layer. Let's see it come up. So here we have our current projects. And if I cycle through these fields, right, I can see all the additional fields that came in, all that rich data like start date, cost status, project status, financial ratings. All this information from P6 now merged with my GIS data. So what I can do with this is, visualize it, right? In our mapping interface here in GIS, I can do things like symbolize it based on risk level. Right, higher this color, low is another color. Right, see where it is in the map. I could potentially also symbolize it by budget, and perhaps a bigger circle means a bigger budget. And all this information is at your fingertips, right? Without ever having to look at a Gantt chart. Let's review the architecture of the solution we just looked at. It begins in ArcGIS Pro, where our new integration tool will connect to Primavera P6 web services and pull down dozens or hundreds of fields if you like. That tool relates all of those activities with specific points, lines, and polygons that have real-world locations, even 3D features. Now you could simply run the tool and then share the results, but I encourage you to use ArcGIS Pro to create advanced symbology or labels using your newly integrated data. From there, you can share it to ArcGIS Online or ArcGIS Enterprise, where that layer can live inside of web maps, apps, dashboards, hubs, and even mobile apps. The ultimate value comes when you share the results. Use the ArcGIS platform to visualize scheduling data in the geospatial context that allows project managers, subcontractors, and other stakeholders to more clearly understand project progress. Now, this is going to allow users to see this detailed project information at a higher level. For example, seeing which projects are behind schedule, ahead of schedule. You could do some risk management, see which ones are riskier. This kind of automation is going to open doors. Your project will transform from 3D to 4D when you integrate your schedule. And you can even elevate it to what's known as 5D, which incorporates cost estimation and budgets, allowing AECs to gain a whole new set of insights into their project management and scheduling data. Thank you.